is up, you guys? CeCe Clemons, aka Vibin' Weirdo. How are you? Wonderful. Didn't give you time to answer that. You're having a great day. You need to have a great day. If you're not, try your best. Just try your best. All right, I have not done this on my channel before, which is crazy considering that I'm a movie crackhead. But I figured that I would do my top movies for the year 2023 from January through the end of June. I watched other people do their recaps, and I'm like, oh, I mean, it would make sense for me to do it. And this year has been busting, absolutely busting with movies. Like, it's overwhelming. And it's like, oh my gosh, slow down. Whew. But not really though. But yes, at the same time, it's weird. It was pretty difficult for me to come up with the number for certain things. So a lot of things are kind of close, or I feel the same way with the other rankings. But overall, I'll give you my top 10 and then the worst. I only have 3 that were absolutely just dreadful for me this year. Without further ado, let's get into it. Number 10, Megan. It's nice to have a friend. That's all I have to say. The trailer behind it hyped me up. The movie was good. Was it the most mind-blowing movie that I've ever seen in my life? No. But it was a lot of fun. I had a great time watching it. It started off the year on a very strong note. I was like, oh, this was a great movie. Like, this was a good film. Especially after the last few years, it being a little difficult with having movies outside of comic book action world really hitting. It was very, very good to see Megan perform well and do well too. It was a good movie, solid film. Number 9. Well, that's 10 in sign language, and this is 9. Number 9, John Wick, Chapter 4. It speaks for itself. Action packed throughout. It was really good. Love seeing Keanu Reeves on the big screen. It was an IMAX. And surprisingly, they made it worth the experience with the graphics and the sound effects. So there were some scenes where the sound effects were very much amplified with the IMAX screening. So I'm actually surprised it's not higher on the list. But with the movies that's come out over the last 2 months, it's like a lot to compete with. So I would definitely put it up there at number 9. Number 8, Evil Dead Rise. I loved Evil Dead Rise. I watched it 3 times at this point. I've watched other people react to the movie. What really stood out to me for this one is just how great the acting was. The actress for the mother that's possessed, absolutely phenomenal job. That woman acted her butt off. And it really pulled the film together. It was bloody, it was gory, it was violent, it was brutal, it was disgusting. It was everything you would look for in a horror movie, maybe sometimes too much. Family dynamic, sister dynamic. I have yet to see a performance of someone being possessed better than this. And of course, it's not just the acting; it's the costume design and the makeup and all the things that go into it. But overall, collectively, job well done. Number 7, Missing. This has Storm Reid in it and Nia Long. I believe this came out in January as well. And I was like, man, this year is off to a great start. And I watched a lot of reactions to Missing as well, which shows you how much I enjoy the movie. I don't know what they call it, but having the viewpoint from a video camera on your computer, on your phone, I didn't think I would enjoy that part as much, but it was so well done. The editing on it, phenomenal. Phenomenal. When you tap into movies like this, the acting can be kind of whack or like meh, but no, Storm Reid and her mom Nia Long did their thing. Other characters as well. Yeah, the twists and turns in it, really, really good job. As much as I enjoyed the movie, I knew that it wouldn't get the recognition it deserved until it hit streaming, and that I was right. It's on Netflix now, so if you have Netflix, go ahead and get into and stop playing. Number 6, The Little Mermaid. Going into it, I didn't expect for me to rate it this high. I'm not a musical fan. However, I do love Halle Bailey. So that is definitely putting that number up there higher than what I probably would on any other Disney live action remake. But I personally love the film. I was moved by her performance. She did a really great job. The movie wasn't perfect at all. There were definitely some flaws with it, some things that could have been better, tweaked up. However, I walked away from it loving it. I love the experience. I love the music. Even the Scuttlebutt song. The Scuttlebutt song had me hype. Some people say they hate it. I'm like, that's one of the best parts. What are you talking about? Scuttlebutt. Okay, don't get me started. And there were some moments. Holly's voice was so freaking beautiful. I didn't cry, but it just made my eyes water. Like, this is so amazing. Oh my gosh, somebody's really using their voice from God to just to be them. I don't know what I'm saying, but she's using her gifts properly, and it's moving me. Dang it, it's moving me, and it's pulling the heartstrings, and it's doing what it needs to do. Okay, I think people that actually go out to watch it, they'll see that it's not that bad. I don't think everyone's gonna love it like I do, but I don't think people are gonna hate the performance. Number 5. Da-da-da-da. Yeah, I did that. Super Mario Bros. At number 5. I was really going back and forth between that one and The Little Mermaid. That was difficult for me. However, that Blue Flame character, I don't know the name, but that one took the cake for me. Just the nostalgia, the colors, the voice acting, the humor. Jack freaking Black. Peaches, 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 peaches. Okay, don't get me started. I love Jack Black. School of Rock. Grew up on that. That's a part of the reason why I am where I am today. So him bringing that energy into Mario Bros. As Bowser, it really did something for me and added to the experience. It did very well at the box office too. Not surprising whatsoever. It was busted. I love dark humor. That Blue Flame character was just killing it throughout the whole movie. I'm like, yes, you're talking to my soul right now. Let's go. Don't worry, I'm fine. It's okay. It's all right. Number 4, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I did not expect for this one to even be in my top 10 just because of how I felt of the prior Guardians of the Galaxy films. But this one was straight fire. James Gunn did a really great job. I was invested in all the characters. They really dove into Rocket's character very, very well. Very touching, very moving. And I teared up. I think did I boohoo cry? I don't remember. But I cried. I don't think it was super hard, but I was like fighting it, just like, oh my gosh. Groot coming through. Groot scene. For the ones that watched it, you already know what I'm talking about. That was like one of the best movie moments ever. Like, forget if I didn't like the movie. If that happened, that scene with Groot, if that happened, it would still be like, this is one of the best movie moments ever. Just because of the build-up and other things, other elements, all of that. So, number 3, Dungeons and Dragons. I loved Dungeons and Dragons, y'all. I enjoyed it very much. It was action-packed. It was a lot of fun. It was so freaking funny. It was hilarious. Chris Pratt, Michelle Rodriguez, say no more, okay? Michelle Rodriguez's character was my favorite, of course. She just what she brought to the film was just fantastic. It made it a really great and enjoyable experience for me. And I think I watched that one 2 or 3 times. And I could have watched it again, but I was like, relax. You got a lot of slew of other movies coming out. Pipe down a little bit, you know. As a person that didn't grow up playing Dungeons and Dragons or really getting into that world and getting to experience that in a way firsthand with the film, it was a really, really awesome experience for me. The skeletons, that whole sequence was freaking funny. If you know, you know. But yeah, if you haven't watched another movie this year, action movie, that is definitely one I would recommend. Outside of the superhero realm and John Wick type of thing, absolutely highly recommend Dungeons and Dragons. It's lit, wouldn't steer you wrong. I don't know if people supported that one as much as the box office, which is a shame because it was a really, really great film. So, number 2, The Flash. A lot of people may be surprised. Well, people that don't know me may be surprised. This freaking Justice League, that this is number 2, but I'm not. With all the backlash and all the negative talk and lack of hype for this film, I still went out to watch the movie and I loved it. I love the Flash, always have, always will, and seeing the Flashpoint story on the big screen real people and real graphics. Michael Keaton Batman, every scene he was in was just fire. Like, everything was just so cool. And then his playing his theme music and like it was just awesome. Every time he did something, I'm just like, oh my god, this is so amazing. Even Supergirl. Some people didn't love her performance. I loved it. CGI moments weren't super crisp. I get that. But even aside from that, I really enjoyed the film. It's one of my favorite superhero films I've watched in a while. And I've said this before, I've rated Guardians of the Galaxy higher just as far as the movie as a whole, the story, the graphics, everything. But I enjoyed The Flash more. I absolutely enjoyed it more. And even with all its imperfections and controversies and all that, it was still a solid film for me. I feel like when more people actually take time to watch the film, they'll be like, you know what? It wasn't that bad. You may not love it. You may not say it's the greatest of all time or one of the greatest of all time. But I think most people that actually got to watch it, they'll say it's actually all right. So hopefully it thrives on streaming. I highly doubt they'll do another one with him. One, with his actions, and two, with the lack of box office return on that. If you're having bad controversy and people are still not supporting your film, good luck with making another movie for The Flash. The math just has to math. You have to make it make sense at the end of the day. Number 1. And I hope this isn't cliche and this is like number 1 on a lot of other people's lists, but it is for me. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. As much nostalgia as I felt with The Flash and as much as I love the character of The Flash more, I still had to put this one as number 1 because it was just almost perfect. It was like almost a perfect film. Gwen Stacy, she stole the show for me. And her freaking theme song, freaking love it. And I've been listening to that in my own time, just the freaking soundtrack. I've watched the movie 3 times, I think, or twice. And I've been wanting to, twice. And I've been wanting to watch it again just so I can hear her theme song while she's fighting and kicking butt. That's how much I love this freaking movie. Miles is cute. That's fine. That's about him. It makes sense. But yeah, as a woman, I don't know. And just seeing Spider-Girl portrayed in a very cool, dope way. Spider-Gwen. It was really awesome. And not to mention all the other variations of Spider-Man, Spider-Women, Spider-Girl. It was just, the colors were coloring. The fight scenes were epic. You can't really get better fight scenes than animation. You can't. You just feel it's just not possible. Definitely wasn't in love with the cliffhanger, especially now knowing that the next one is going to come out in 2 to 3 years. Which, the fact that they said it was coming out next year is kind of crazy. It's like, movies don't come out that quick when they do a sequel or whatever, when they do a third film, whatever. That's not normal. So that actually made sense. It just, they teased us. They teased me, and they said next year, and now that's not happening. And it's like, okay, gotta backtrack now. Gotta get back to life and reality. Yeah, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. So far, number 1 for the first half of the year. Let's see if it'll carry on through the end. Okay, so the worst movies of the year is going to be 3. I'm pretty easy to please when it comes to movies, because I already love going to the movies. I'm going to go out to support the film. You just got to keep me engaged. That's all. Make something that I can be cool with. That's why there's only 3. All right, so number 3 would be Ant-Man and the Wasp. Not the worst movie I've seen. It's number 3 on the list, okay? It was okay. It was an okay film, but if I just kind of sat back and compared it to the other movies I watched and other superhero films, it just didn't deliver, unfortunately. With that being his 3rd movie, I was expecting way more out of Ant-Man, just fighting wise. Yeah, I felt like we were kind of starting from the beginning, or the 2nd film. We should be way past this in this 3rd film. That's just me. Number 2, Hypnotic. You probably didn't even hear of it. And you shouldn't have. It has Ben Affleck in it. The concept was cool. It was dope. But the execution was pretty whack. It was okay for the most part. But the way that they ended it I don't know. It just wasn't connecting. It was kind of boring, and the execution of it was just not there. I remember just watching it like, I think I can leave now. But I just chose not to. Like, I'm already invested. I'm here. I'm finishing this. And number one, y'all, don't bash me for you fans out there. Number one, Indiana Jones, Dial of Destiny. Holy crap, that movie was bad. It was not a good movie. And I didn't drop my review for it. I didn't even record a review because it's unfair, because I didn't grow up like as a fan of the original film. I don't even know if I've watched them, to be honest with you. Now the last one that came out before this one, I watched that one, and it was cool. It was okay. It wasn't bad. But the experience I had when I watched this, it was just not good. I was fighting sleep the whole movie. It was one point where I was thinking about walking out, because I was just like, man, I am so bored and I'm sleepy. And for it to be an action, it's crazy to see action scenes happening, but it'd be boring at the same time. It's like, this is a weird experience for me. How am I supposed to handle this? But yeah. And I wanted it to be good. I wanted to supported the film, contribute to the box office numbers. That's what I do. But yeah, unfortunately the experience just wasn't good for me. And I just could not click with it. I could not connect with it. It's been a while since I felt that way about a movie. So I would unfortunately have to put that one at the top. I was not vibing with it at all, y'all. Sorry. So that is it, y'all. Let me know what your list is. What are your top 10 or even top 5? And what are you looking forward to for this upcoming year? I'm so ready for Barbie. Y'all don't even know. So we'll see. This year has been busting and thick with movies, and I'm so happy. I know a part of it is catching up for lost time from COVID. A lot of these films are already in production and in the works before COVID hit. So we're just getting a bow, 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 back to back. But they'll slow down. They'll definitely slow down, especially with feedback from the consumers about the quality of movies we're receiving, especially in the superhero world. So, yeah, I am definitely excited. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Drink your water as always. Have a great day. Peace. That's a long recording, bro.